InDesign, wrapping text and balancing lines. So if you open the text wrap panel from the Windows drop-down menu, it should appear in your panels. Now it may be collapsed or hidden. You may have to click or double click on it to see the whole thing. You might need to expand it. Now you're going to need multiple text blocks and images of different shapes for this. So select and position an object so that it is on top of your text. Then, with that object still selected, you go to the text wrap panel or section of the properties panel and choose the type of wrapping you want. So this is the option for wrap around bounding box, and you can see that the text is now wrapping or flowing around the frame of the image. You can adjust the amount of space between the frame of the image and the text in the adjust offset settings of text wrap. There's a little icon that looks like a chain here, and if that is selected, then all of the sides of your image and the offset around the top, bottom, left, and right will change automatically at the same time. So you don't have to go in and change each one of them. If you change one, it will change all of them. If you don't want it even all the way around, unclick the chain. Now, basic text wrap is in the properties panel, but some options are only in the full text wrap panel. So this includes wrap options. Now, wrap options specifies where text goes when wrapping pushes it out of the way of an object. You can wrap to the right, wrap to the left, or the left and right, wrap towards the spine or away from the spine. Spine being the center of a print publication. So let's create a new object that's not a rectangle, so we can show you some other options here. I'm going to make a little triangle star shaped thing using the tool here, placing it over my text, and this is how it looks with no text wrap. It is on top of the text. Now I've changed it to wrap around bounding box, and you can see the text flows around the frame of the object. Now I'm selecting wrap around object shape, and see how it wraps around the shape of the yellow object, not the box or the frame. It's going around the actual shape of the object in the frame. Jump object will do this. It will just be above and below the object as your places for type. Jump to next column is going to make the text jump to the next column of text. Again, no text wrap, looks like this. Wrap around bounding box, looks like this. Wrap around object shape. Jump object, jump to next column. Now there are also extra options that are hidden in the full paragraph panel, which is in Window, Text and Tables, Paragraph. So you have to go a couple of levels in there to get it, but it has some things that the paragraph section of the properties panel does not have. And let's put them side by side so you can see. Because at first, the comparison, they look identical. So we've got the paragraph section of properties on the left and the paragraph panel on the right. And it looks like they have all the same things. Except we have a hamburger. We have 4 little lines here in the paragraph panel, which brings up this menu of options. Okay, so click inside the paragraph that you want to adjust. So on both of these, you have the hyphenation option, which will turn on and off hyphenation of your paragraphs if you wanted to automatically decide where to put in hyphens, or if you want to tell it where. But now I'm going to extend this frame. So, see here how this one line has just one word on it. We used to call these widows or orphans, whether it's a line with one word or one line on the top of a column. If you go into your options in the paragraph panel, balance ragged lines will fix that without editing the text. So it's just arranging the word spacing in order to fit everything on there. You don't have to go in and manually delete words or change words in order to get it to fit. And notice I'm doing it now to every single paragraph so that any of those that had a little dangler at the bottom, it's now smoothed out and they have a full line. You can also do this to headlines. Instead of going in and putting in a return or a shift return, you can just say balance ragged line, and it will give you a more balanced headline. See how those just sit on top of each other. Now here I've added another image so I can show you contour options. So selecting the option activates the text wrap section of the properties panel and the text wraps panel. So they're both active now because I've selected my object. And notice we have hidden options both in the properties panel, suggested by the ellipses, the 3 dots, and we have hidden options in the text wrap panel, suggested by the hamburger, the 4 lines. And if we click show options, it's going to give us some options that, as you recall, are not in the properties panel. First one are wrap object options that we talked about. We just went through those, left and right, towards spine, away from spine. But we also have contour options. There's a great feature in here. So, I've put my image on top of the text. I have wrap around text object selected, and then in contour options I chose select subject, and this intelligently creates a path around the main object of my photograph. So notice the tumbler there has this long path around it. These are made out of anchor points, like we've seen before. You might need to put your photograph behind the text in order for this to work, or adjust your layers. I'm going to go into preview mode here so you can see more clearly. If you grab the pen tool, you can delete, add, or change any of those individual anchor points to adjust the path here exactly the way you want it. And notice what we have, though, is that the text is flowing over the picture, but not over the main object in the picture. So we're able to keep the background of the text, but keep the text off our main object in the picture. So this gives you a real nice effect if you don't want to lose the background of your picture. There's also a little feature in here, a little box marked invert. If you select invert, instead of the text flowing around the outside of your object, the text is going to wrap on the inside of your object. So you see now we have another path, which you can edit with the pen tool, and within that path is where the text is wrapping now. It's going inside the main object in my picture, not on the outside of the main object in my picture.